Okay, we should be live on YouTube now, and I'm going to start the webinar now and let the audience in.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Linda Romaine. I'm the current chair of the Health Science Education Department. It's my pleasure to welcome parents, friends, loved ones, colleagues, and most important, the graduates to the RVCC Nursing Class of 2021 pinning ceremony. This class is special to all of us at the college. Of the 2 years these students have been studying in this challenging program, more than half of it has been during a pandemic, as you all know. Both the students and the faculty worked hard under these difficult circumstances, and we are extremely proud and happy to be here today to honor all of our nursing graduates. And with that said, I am honored to introduce the provost, of the Raritan Valley Community College, Dr. Debbie Preston.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here at this very special and important ceremony. I bring greetings from President Michael McDonough, who had hoped to be here with all of us tonight, but is stranded in a parking lot somewhere waiting for AAA. So he is very sorry to miss this because it's a special occasion every year, but this year, as Ms. Romaine said, especially important. I will tell you that I began my academic career. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I began my career as an English professor far from the halls of the nursing program. And even when I became a dean of the arts for many years, one of the things I always said to myself when I got really stressed was, calm down, no one's going to die. So that was great while I was dean for the arts. And then I became the vice president for academic affairs. And now nursing is one of the departments that reports to me. So then I had to take things a little bit more seriously, right? Because there are things that feel like a life or death matter. But it was okay because, I was a little bit distant as long as I made sure the equipment was paid for and the faculty were in place, it was all going to be good. So then the pandemic happens, as you all know. And suddenly our investment, and I don't really mean our financial investment, I mean our emotional investment in the nursing program just became so much bigger than ever. And the nurses may not know this, but there is a fairly large group of people throughout Raritan Valley Community College who have been working for the past 15 months to make sure this program continues as it's supposed to continue. There are people from procurement. There are people from facilities, the faculty, the administrators, the staff associated with the nursing program, the dean, me, the local providers. We have spent so many hours thinking about how to make sure you get your education and we keep you safe. I never knew what an N95 mask was before this year. Now I not only know what it is, I know how much they cost. I know the OSHI rules for, that's my dog, the OSHI rules for having them fitted properly, and I know how much it costs to have a professional come in and fit them properly. So I've learned lots of new things. But we knew from day one that whatever happened with the rest of the academic program, the nursing program would go on. And not one single nursing faculty member said to me, do I have to come back to campus? Immediately, they said, we will come back on campus. We will figure it out. We will make it work. And I think that was such a testament to how much the faculty care about this program. And I think it shows how much the students care about the program, because the faculty knew the students would settle for nothing less. And that is also extremely important. So I want to say thank you for all the things I've learned this year about nursing that I never thought I would have to learn. And I want to say thank you for letting RVCC show that we can be a real team and make something happen when we want it to happen. And most importantly, I just want to say congratulations and thank you. Thank you for the work you put into this degree. And thank you for the work you're going to be doing for me and my family and my community going forward, because it is truly important work and it is much appreciated. So congratulations. And again, thank you for letting me be here and say a few words this evening. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Sarah Connors, who is the day president of the Student Nurses Association.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Connors, and I am the Day Program President of the Student Nurses Association at Raritan Valley Community College. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone for joining us here today. My cohort and I would not be sitting here if it were not for the sacrifices that all of you have made. Over the last 2 years, you all have endured us having to miss out on birthday parties, holidays, and other family events. You've put up with overflowing piles of laundry, late dinners, our disappearing on hours on end to study, and I'm sure you even witnessed a few mental breakdowns, crying, self-doubt, and frustration over words that you may have never knew existed. Just know that with your love, support, understanding, and encouragement, it has enabled us to accomplish a lifelong dream, and that is why we are all here today. You will notice that we are wearing a red and white ribbon on our scrubs. This ribbon was the idea of our Student Nurses Association Secretary, Shay McGlone, and was given as a gift to all of the graduates, inscribed with the words, "We rise, we heal, we overcome." The white on the ribbon is symbolic of every healthcare worker who has died during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the red is symbolic of our bravery as we prepare to step into their shoes. Over the course of the last few months, the phrase "we rise, we heal, we overcome" has become deeply significant to many of us. My fellow graduates and I have shown that we can rise to the occasion, as so many in our profession have done before us. From Florence Nightingale in the Crimean War to all of the frontline workers still battling the COVID-19 pandemic today. Today, we take a sacred pledge to heal the sick and to provide comfort and compassion to all of those in need. I would like to also remind my classmates that we have to take the time to heal ourselves so that we can show up as the best version of ourselves for all of our future patients. Sometimes the hardest thing is recognizing our need for self-care and for self-healing. And if I can borrow the words from every flight attendant, if you're traveling with someone who needs assistance, you must always put your oxygen mask on first. We must remember that in order to best serve others, we must first take care of ourselves. Nursing school has quite the reputation for being the hardest thing anyone will ever go through. And to that, I would just like to say, have you tried it in the middle of a global pandemic? My classmates and I have shown through our resilience and perseverance that we will overcome any obstacle that is thrown our way. 2 years ago, when my classmates and I set off on this journey, there was no way of knowing what would lie ahead. Little did we know just what a blessing it would be to be able to be physically together during the fall of 2019. The library on campus, the nursing hallway, and the lecture hall in room E109 quickly became our second home. In March of 2020, we were whisked off the floor of the hospitals where we were participating in clinical rotations and sent home for what we thought would just be an extra long spring break. As the entire world came to a screeching halt because of the COVID-19 pandemic, our professors tirelessly worked to move an entire program that had been reliant on in-person learning to a new online format. And we all scrambled to reorganize the study habits that we had been developing over our first semester. We adapted, we put our fears aside, and we continued to move forward. Zoom calls, texting, and FaceTime became our only means of communication with one another. And I think it's safe to say that we've all spent more hours on video calls in these past 2 years than we ever thought humanly possible. And although it may seem that this physical distance between us would pull us apart, I believe that just the opposite happened. Suddenly, we became acquainted in a much more intimate way. From struggling to find a quiet corner in our houses, to seeing each other in pajamas, to dogs barking and cats walking in front of the cameras, kids making guest appearances, and spouses running through the background of frames, a deeper connection was formed. And I could not be more thankful for that. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected every single person here today. Globally, we have survived heartache and trauma that we could have never imagined. Within the nursing program itself, we have suffered unimaginable losses over these past 2 years. The compassion I have seen my classmates and professors show one another, as many of us were forced to finish school during the most painful and seemingly impossible circumstances, is unlike anything I have ever experienced. The love and support that we have shown one another shows me that we are not just another graduating class of nurses. We are so much more than that. The class sitting here before you today is comprised of the most kind-hearted, compassionate, empathetic, and loving people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. The professors you see are among the most inspiring, dedicated, influential, encouraging, and brilliant mentors we could have ever asked for. And so, to my classmates, I would like to thank you for building this amazing community with me and holding on for the bumpy ride. And to my professors, thank you for believing in us, challenging us, and pushing us to reach our full potential. Congratulations, nurses, we made it. I would now like to introduce the night program president, Maria Lanzone.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Maria Lanzone, and I am the night president of the Student Nurses Association. It is with great honor that I stand here representing the graduating nursing class of 2021. On behalf of the entire program, I would like to say a special thank you to faculty, to family and friends, and everyone who is watching us virtually. Now, I would like to bring you back to the beginning of our journey. During school orientation, I remember we were told over and over how hard nursing program was going to be for us. I remember the staff explained the number of hours that we were going to need studying, the amount of reading, and then they also recommended us to not to work and dedicate ourselves to school full time. For a lot of us, though, that was not an option. A lot of us had to work full-time jobs, attend to our families, and try to survive it all at once. So we were up for a challenge. We had many sleepless nights, way too much crying during clinicals, before, during, and after exams. We spent a lot of hours learning concepts with our study groups and even more hours when we got home. We knew that it was going to be a lot of hard work from the start. But what we were not expecting was to have to switch gears mid-program and adjust quickly during a pandemic. The stress levels were just through the roof, trying to adapt to the new normal. Now we could no longer meet up to study in person. Seeing everyone we assume caused many of us anxiety, and clinicals were now being online from our dining room tables. Exam were now being taken in a monitored at home. And then let me tell you that I never realized how loud our homes were until we had to take a test there, or how hard it was to keep our children and our pets from coming into the room and then having our test shut down on us. Unfortunately, we all have the most supportive families who all went through nursing school with us by having to adjust and compromise with our new schedules. Today, we are standing here with our loved ones, but we must acknowledge those who we lost and are not physically here with us. I know they meant the world to you and to so many others, and their memories will live forever in our hearts. And I am sure they are watching every one of you get pinned today, and they are smiling, celebrating, and are incredibly proud of each and one of you. I'm dedicated to my special friends, Louisa and Jill. This last 2 years have been very challenging, but they also have been very rewarding and full of accomplishment. Our class, as many of you know, started the mentoring program where the first-year students were partnered up with the second-year students for academic and emotional support. We also set up the Ludwinson Library with books for each course so students can borrow them if they need it. The library was set up in the room next to the lab where we loved studying for hours. When we had to go virtual, that was one of the things that we really missed, was just having a nice, quiet place to study. We have worked endlessly, and I know that every single one of you will make a great impact wherever you go and whatever you choose to work. But for both of your employers and their patients are going to be just so lucky. When you feel like quitting, just remember why you started. I am going to share my why I started with you. I don't know if you remember these from orientation. We all got a crayon on the very first day, and then we had to write on it, I can do this, class of 2021. And then we also were asked to write a little index note for us. So whenever we try to quit, we will read it to ourselves. So mine reads, I want to be a nurse because I really love working with people. Helping others and making a difference in their lives makes a difference in mine. I have been working on getting my RN for like 7 years, and I want to make my mom proud. My dad's sacrifice was worth it, and I just want to make them both proud. Um, Lastly, I would like to say a special thank you to our professors who always believed in us and never let any of us give up. Thank you to our clinical instructors who took us under their wing and share all their knowledge. Thank you to every nurse at the hospitals who were always willing to teach and help us understand. And thank you to every single student who is graduating today, because I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for all of you. We were classmates that became friends. We were friends that became family. We have lifted and held each other up every single step of the way. And now here we are graduating nursing school. I am so incredibly proud to say congratulations, nursing class of 2021. We did it. And now before I announce our keynote speaker on behalf of our class, I would like to say that this is inspired by Professor Lowen's passion for excellence in critical nursing skills and in the inspirational memories of everything we learn in the lab. We helped create a comprehensive proposal for an expanded multidisciplinary skills lab, presenting Professor Ludwinson with a class donation. And it is our hope that the RVCC nursing program will move forward with the plan in the near future, a beautiful space that will truly benefit future students and live on as our legacy. So I will now present you guys our keynote speaker, Professor Karen Ludwinson.
Thank you, Maria. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the RVCC 2021 pinning ceremony, where we recognize the hard work and dedication of our nursing students over the past 2 years. The pinning ceremony has a history dating back 200 years ago, when our nursing matriarch, Florence Nightingale, wanted to recognize the nursing student who succeeded through the rigorous training and who finally reached the day when she could be called a nurse. For these nursing students before us today, overcoming the unforeseen challenges that this past year has brought makes this ceremony even more meaningful, and it could not have been accomplished without their dedication, their drive, and their resiliency to become a part of the nursing profession. And I am so proud of each and every one of them. As I was preparing the speech for this class, I was trying to decide what topic would have the most relevance to this group of students that took on the challenges of the pandemic by having to change to complete remote learning in a week's time, homeschool their own children, create office space in their homes for spouses, and then try to find a quiet area to do their own studying and learning. The answer came to me when I recalled a few months ago that someone came up to me and asked, "Hey, Karen, do you know what the word of the year was last year?" My answer was, well, let's see, it was probably unprecedented or pandemic, right? But as I thought more about it, there is only one word that could best describe this past year, and that has true relevance for our profession and for this class, and that word is resiliency. 2020 was designated as the year of the nurse and the midwife to commemorate Florence Nightingale's 200th birthday. I can't help think about the irony that the year chosen to highlight nursing was also the year that our world was hit with a pandemic and the challenges that we, as healthcare providers, were faced with and ill-equipped to fight. As the pandemic worsened, we were called heroes and banners were hung as we walked into the hospital, using our resilience to overcome the fight of another challenging day. One of my peers described her resiliency as someone who runs towards the problem instead of away from it. Interestingly, 200 years ago, Florence Nightingale showed the same type of resiliency when she arrived in Turkey with her little band of nurses to care for the British soldiers who were battling in the Crimean War. She arrived on a scene where death and dying was taking place almost hourly. The environment was chaotic and unclean. There was a shortness in supplies, so they were being washed and reused. Space was minimal because there were so many patients who required care that they were placed in makeshift areas until a bed became available. Fast forward 200 years later, and the scene was all too similar in our own healthcare systems. But here is what I saw and what I experienced with my own peers. I saw resiliency in its most clearest description. Nurses reusing N95 masks and PPE because supplies were so short. We went into isolation rooms with iPads so family members could see their loved ones remotely. We went into the patient's room with disinfectant wipes to wipe down the beds and floors because there was not enough PPE for housekeeping to go into the room to clean. It was the nurse who went into the room instead of out. It was their resiliency that showed up day after day and continues even now. Ours is not a profession that runs away. We run to it because our hearts tell us that someone needs our help and we are ingrained to do so. Resiliency makes us accomplish things that we don't think is possible. I saw resiliency in your nursing educators. Their resilience kicked in to face the challenge of providing you with complete virtual learning. We worked as a team with a little bit of help from IT to go from face-to-face learning to Zoom calls, voice over PowerPoints, ATI modules, vSim, and placing tests in Canvas to provide you with the best nursing education that we could. We stepped up to the challenge, putting in long hours in order to help you to reach your goal. It was well worth the team effort. I see resiliency before us today in this fabulous group of nursing students who are entering into a proud profession that continues to care for those who are in need. They have succeeded in accomplishing time management, homeschooling their children, sharing space with other family members 24/7, disinfecting surfaces, and educating their friends and family on the importance of the correct way to do hand washing. It was not easy, but as nurses, we know that situations can change very rapidly, and we need to rely on our resilience to keep moving forward. I want to end with one of my favorite quotes from Florence that I feel is very fitting for our profession and relevant for this past year. How very little can be done under the state of fear. How very powerful and true those few words mean. My hope for all of you as you enter into this wonderful profession that we call nursing is that you take the courage, the resiliency, and the strength that you showed this past year and hold it tightly to move yourselves forward. I wish you all the best of luck, and I am so proud to have been able to be a small part of your big day. And by the way, the word of the year in 2020 was pandemic. And now I would like to introduce to you Nadine Larson, who will be doing the presentation of the graduates.
We're not hearing sound. Sorry, Dave, could you stop and restart the share with sound?
Good evening. I'd like you all to help me in welcoming and congratulating our RVCC nursing class of 2021. Now, I will present to you all of the graduates and the presentation of pins. Zokia Ugosto, Jonathan Allers, Karen Alfaro, Jennifer Alfonso, Eleanor Ainham Waif, Chriselle Aquino, Aliana Arsino, Nicole Bessasparis, Molly Bontempo, Danielle Burt, Chelsea Castro, Emily Renee Cochran, Sarah Connors, Christian Cook, Louisa Correa, Morgan Diavella, Lydia DeSapio, Samantha Downey, Jennifer Duffy, Catherine Espinoza, Leanne Eula, Casey Fenton, Janeri Fernandez, Krisha Fernandez, Jill Ferrante, Jessica Fisher, Madeline Flynn, Robert Foschel, Isatu Gabisi, Herberto Garcia, Sean Gibbons, Kirsten Glennon, Caitlin Hall, Javaria Hassan, Matthew Helm, Angela Hidalgo, Nicole Ione, Dean Jackus Clark, Derek Johansson, Carly Johnstone, Island Joseph, Casey Kennedy, Samantha King, Mendy Koyaki, Jennifer Lai, Jonathan Lambino, Maria Lanzoni, Charmaine Lupaskis, Aira Maldonado, Megan Maza, Audrey McDonald, Shay McGlone, Deirdre McGovern, Rebecca McKinnon, Lubna Vedet, Madison Meritons, Artis Miller, Erin Morris, Mia Morse, Allison Mueller, Amanda Murray, Melissa Nazario, Brianna Nolan, Catherine O'Connor, Mark Oko, Spendylove Otang, Brenda Perez, Denise Perez, Bryn Flager Schweer, Fanny Pinedo, Marisa Kiampong, David Quinones, Charlotte Regira, Justine Ronte, Kayla Reinhardt, Brianne Ricci, Fabiola Rivera Perez, Kim Rogers, Andrea Rodriguez, Jonathan Romero, Chris Anthony Rubia, Morgan Rutishauser, Alexis Sayevsky, Cristal Sanchez Guevara, Diana Santizo, Kristen Scheidel, Ellen Schwam, Soleil Scrimmager, Mary Angela Sina, Samantha Shepard, Caitlin Shotek, Carly Skabinski, Hillary Slocum, Tyler Sontag, Martha Speakman, Alexandria Such, Kayla Tan, Hattie Toure, Elisa Velasquez, Jennifer Walker, Elizabeth Wasick, Meredith Weldon, Avery Whalen, Victoria Whitman. Congratulations, RVCC Nursing Class of 2021. Be well, please reach out to us anytime, and we are so proud of all of your accomplishments.
The nursing pin is a symbol with a rich history dating back to the Crusades, when badges with the Maltese cross were worn by monks who were caring for the sick in their communities. Later, the Nightingale School of Nursing at St. Thomas's Hospital in London presented badges with a Maltese cross to the nurses as they completed their program and prepared to begin their nursing practice. In the United States, the first nursing badge or PIN as we now call them, was presented to graduate nurses at Belleville Hospital in New York City in 1880. The PIN's design represented vigilance, constancy, mercy, and relief of suffering. Over the years, the awarding of nursing pins has become a symbol of students' completion of their nursing school experience and readiness to move forward to serve the health needs of their community as professional nurses. Today at your pinning ceremony, we acknowledge your dedication to the art and science of nursing. As you move forward, may the tenets of vigilance, constancy, mercy, and relief of suffering guide you in your practice.
Upon my honor, I solemnly pledge in the presence of this assembly to faithfully practice, and I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standards of the profession, practicing with conscience, dignity, and compassion. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious, and I will not knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will hold in my confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping. In the knowledge and practice. With loyalty, I will endeavor to aid my fellow healers in their work and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. I declare my willingness to unite in a program of action, share information and solutions to resolve problems, and improve conditions locally, nationally, and globally in order to achieve health for all humanity. Hello, everyone. My name is Carol Patterson. I must apologize. There were wonderful messages coming through, and that sort of blocked some of my, my words at the bottom, but know that they were heartfelt. And I thank you for the privilege that you've given me to pledge with you. I have the honor of welcoming you, my newest colleagues. Thank you for your hard work, your perseverance, and your courage. We are so proud of you. I wish for you the best from the faculty and the staff of the nursing program. And oh yes, one more thing. Please, from now on, would you please call me Carol? I will be watching for you at the bedside. We really need you, and we need your courage. Good evening, everyone.
Linda, can you hear me?
My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed ever since we was on. I dreamed it all ever since I was young. They said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. They was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I had it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bags, yeah. But they didn't know me last year, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I shut my door, yeah. Everyone counting on me, drop the ball, yeah. Everything custom like I'm at the bottom, yeah, yeah. If you winning, put your lighters to the sky. How could I make sense when I got millions on my mind? Coming with it, I just put it to the side. Bought a sense of baby, they could see it in my eyes. My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
I was patient, yeah. Oh, I was patient. Now I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say congratulations. Young graduation. I pick up the rock and I ball, baby. I'm looking for someone to call, baby. But right now I got a situation. Never old being frank. Big rings, champagne. My life is like a ball game, but instead I'm in a trap though. Pop so big, call it Super Bowl. Super Bowl, caught up, get in the rolls. Top flow lifestyle, top Huncho and Post. Malone, I got a play on my phone. You know what I'm on. Huncho Houdini is gone.
My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation.